Alma of the Airwaves and Lucky of the Orange Couch. It is April 12th. It is a Monday, and it is one special day for me because what do you see? Today you get a split screen. Look what's happening. I have a guest. Okay, I don't have a guest. I have one special dear friend of mine, and this is Angela Jackson. I told you the other day on Friday, the author of these two fabulous books, who is gonna speak about her third book. Okay, let me just before we start, let me tell you why we call Angela our angel. Okay, we call her an angel because she actually is doing angelic things. Like she's actually doing angelic activities on this earth, such as writing books. I mean, okay, let me just introduce you. Let her speak. Hello, my darling. Thank you so much for coming to my show and tell us about you.
Thank you, Alma, for having me. It's an absolute honor to be here with you. And, you just mentioned that this is your 365th show since COVID. Yay, yay, yay. Way to go, Alma, baby. You're something else. So, you talked about how to cope with COVID. And for me, aside from the fact that there are people that have suffered tremendously, and my heart goes out and my prayers go out to them. For me personally, it's been a time where I could dig deeper into my spiritual life and my meditation and keep writing, because that's what I do. That's my métier. I love to write. And often before COVID, I couldn't get enough time. There was always something else calling me. So now I have more time to write. And of course, my new book, Chasing Glitter, is coming out soon. Chasing Glitter. And it's not about, going to Hollywood. Although in it, my dad did run off with a Hollywood starlet. That's part of the story. It's not about that. It is about really going for the things that you think are going to give you all the sparkle inside, and discovering that that isn't the way it goes. However, it's set as a novel, and it is about love and betrayal and secrets and passion. Of course, you have to have passion and addiction. So that's also a real important subject, and one that many of us know intimately, and I think it's about the fact that it deals with alcoholism, and the fact that it does that, I think is important, because a lot of people during COVID, and women particularly, have been resorting to drinking too much. And so I really want to get this book out and offer suggestions and a way through. So that's that.
Wow, my goodness, what an achievement. What an achievement, Angela. Like, really. So, the third, what I gather is we're going to definitely discuss all three of them, but the third is fiction. So,
third is fiction. The first two are
ah,
self-help. The first
okay.
two, loosely, it's an autobiographical turned into fiction novel. But the first one, Celebrating Anger, I'm revamping that. Actually, today I'm rewriting a whole lot of it, because I also want to get that out there. Because again, during COVID, the tempers, that have the irritability of people having to stay home and be with maybe only one person, if there is one. And I think that's a lot of couples are experiencing difficulty. I do some counseling, and I know firsthand that they're experiencing difficulties, like because they can't get away from one another except to go for a walk, and there's no sort of happy surprise unless we make it. And
Oh,
so
my.
in Celebrating Anger, there's a whole lot of tools and activities in that book, and there's going to be more, and I'm going to have that out within a few weeks. Again, the new updated one, it'll be available on Amazon, our friend Amazon.
Wow, you see how you just gave us exactly the right direction where we can talk about, because this book was written in 1990, I think it was 1992 first, right?
Yeah,
1992.
yeah.
So what you're doing now you're just looking back, and I can imagine in this pandemic what looking at anger can bring up. Like, I mean, this is a new reservoir. I can only imagine your experience and your research and people that you're helping. This must be extremely, look at this, like 25 years later, you can do this. It's amazing. So tell us about this, when you wrote it, because it's such a helpful, and I have read all the seminars and so many people have attended your seminar. So tell us about this book, and then we'll bridge it over to today.
Well, I thank you, Alma. Thank you for asking me such great questions. So I wrote the book because at the time I was doing a lot of seminars and people kept saying, we need this, we need these tools, we need it in a book. I wasn't going to write the book, but they kept, you know, persuading me. So I did it. And then the book went out and it became an international bestseller. It was published in German and Chinese. But I have to tell you this really funny story. I was on CBS. At the time, it was Geraldo who was the host, and he was really famous for punching a guy out in the nose. And he held up the book and he said, everybody should read this book. And so that, that kind of publicity was amazing. You can't pay for it. But there was also a guy on the show who had accidentally, well, maybe not accidentally, pushed his girlfriend off towards the subway track. She fell in, she lost her leg, and he went to prison. And he came out 10 years later and he was on the show. And Geraldo asked me, do you think this guy has changed? Do you think he can be rehabilitated? And I said, of course, because anybody can change. If we do the work, of course, anybody can change. Well, the audience went, boo, when they heard that. They did not want to hear that. They wanted to hear me say, no, crucify him. I wasn't going to say that. So there are tons of tools, and I'm not taking those out of the book. I'm just bringing it up to date with new stories and new ideas and new little secrets at the end of each chapter. But I am definitely keeping the tools in because they still work. They work. I use them, I use them. They're really good tools. So that's celebrating anger. And anger is just an emotion. It's like on one hand, it's one step away from danger. And on the other hand, it's a human emotion we all have. We're not going to get rid of it. So we might as well learn how to deal with it in a creative way. And that's what my book's about.
Wow, my goodness, that's exactly, like, speaking of definitely what you have created is amazing. I know people who actually bought this, and it's all over the internet, and of course we want to read it, because I mean, this is amazing. And especially now with this 25 years, this is quarter of a century later, you can update that. I think this is just spectacular. Don't be modest, please. Tell us more about really how famous this first book made you, because you don't need to be modest. I mean, this speaks for itself. Tell us.
It became an international bestseller pretty quickly. Yes. This was even before Geraldo held it up. But you know what was the most joyful for me, truthfully? I would get letters from people. I still do. I still get letters because it's been on Amazon and it's there. But I would get letters from people. I would get letters from kids that read the book. That thank you, because these tools have really helped me. They helped me deal with my mother. I mean, honestly, and my mom, and I had tools from couples. I had, God, I'm getting tripped up. I had responses from couples who said that it really saved their marriage. I had such amazing notes and letters and emails from people. That's really what, because you never know. You write a book, you do your best as an author. Alma, you're an author, you do your best, you put it out there, and then who knows what's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, my hard part is marketing. I don't really do it. It's basically word of mouth. That's how the book became an international bestseller. It was word of mouth.
Yeah. Speaking of how rewarding your work is, so I'm absolutely sure that you had so much proof of people thanking you. Like literally, you see this. these rewards are coming your way. So there is and years after. And
Yeah,
of course, after this big success, first success, then followed in 2024, celebrate life. No, because celebrating is, turns out, especially now in the pandemic, what we humans are all about. If we are not here to experience joy and happiness and celebration, no matter what, there is no purpose for us, right?
absolutely. And that's one of the keys in Celebrate Life. It is that no matter what is really going on in life, you can find the gift in the situation or in the person or in the problem. So it's to keep concentrating on finding that gift, finding out how you can be of service, finding out what you can learn, finding out how you can get together and communicate better. You know, there's all kinds of things, but in this specifically, it's about creating. We're all in charge of our destiny, every one of us. So with any day, I mean, it's raining out today. Well, we could say, oh, it's raining. Or we could say, hey, the grass is getting watered and I don't have to do it. Or, you know, the trees. Every day I look out and I see the buds and the blossoms on the trees getting bigger and the grass getting greener. That's a wonderful occasion to celebrate with little things. So creating our whole life as a life of celebration. And yes, there's going to be times we get angry. Well, then we deal with that from celebrating anger.
Yes.
And I'm also, you know, I got so many projects on the go and I love it. It keeps me going because, you know, I'm not the youngest of people anymore, but I'm also writing a celebrate relationship. And because relationships, again, boy, do your true colors ever come out in relationship. I can hang out with my dog. I can hang out with my cat. They don't say anything to offend me. Well, sometimes my cat actually nips me, but you know, the dog is just a darling. He's just so sweet. But in relationship, you know, that's where we really see our partners, our kids, they're our teachers. They show us who we really are by how we react and what we need to work on. So Celebrate Life has a lot of that in it.
Yes, and not only that, first of all, look at your picture here. So look at you celebrating life. Okay, two things which, if somebody is listening to us, they cannot help but mentioning and seeing and noticing. What did you say? There is no stopping you. You're one unstoppable angel because there is so many projects. There is I know that I have heard, I know that from you. You're looking forward to the next day because so much must be done. People are bored now and sitting and they don't know what to do. Are you kidding me? I don't have enough time in these 24 hours. Honestly, I don't have enough
Yes.
time to finish everything I want. And you're exactly the same. So you are somebody who doesn't stand still. I love this about you. It's really the whole energy, everything that you can give the world. It's amazing. So they're following one after the other. They have this logical connection between the two. And now comes our fiction. Okay, first of all, it's called, look, I eat glitter for breakfast.
Ah, I love
Your book,
it.
I'm gonna publish. We're gonna put the title of course, the book and the book cover at the end because we showed your interview the other day. So this now led to this. What is the most important? I mean, I know you writing a book is giving birth. So from all your children, which are multiplying over time, do you have a favorite?
Oh no, I love them all. I love anger. I'm telling you, I love anger. I had so much anger, and the tools that I have in the book helped me and help others. So anger is passion. You know, you got to have it, and you need to learn to work with it. I love that, and I love Celebrate Life. It has a different tone to it. It's a little bit more reflective, I would say, and and then Chasing Glitter. Oh, you know, as Betty Davis said, fasten your seatbelts, baby. It's going to be a bumpy ride. So there's lots in that. It's sort of up and down, roller coaster ride as you read it. And what happens to the heroine? What kind of trouble does she get into? How does she get out of it? What happens then? Well,
Oh my.
Spoiler alert, won't say.
I cannot wait. Like just looking at you, you have to carry this passion. You carry this passion. I mean, that's amazing. We cannot wait. So, some logistics. It's coming up in out in 3 weeks. You said.
I hope so. The
Yeah.
publisher is a little bit behind. Maybe it's a COVID problem. It's a New York publisher, small publisher. People can access it by coming to me at angelspeak4, the number 4 at gmail.com, and I can shoot you over to the launch. There will be a launch where the book will be less expensive for a couple of days. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one way of doing it. And what was your other question?
Here is okay. Here is it. No, honestly, claim it, change it, and celebrate. I have
Yeah.
this. I keep your 2 books on my nightstand. I mean, there is no doubt about that, and they're highlighted and highlighted. But what I want to ask you is, okay, so let's talk the pandemic.
Yeah.
Tell me the one thing you're gonna miss when this is over.
Oh, I
Like when
think
the pandemic is over and we go back to normal and we see each other, what is
yeah,
that is there anything you're gonna miss?
sure. Lots I'm going to miss. I love the quiet that I can get into. I love the fact that in the last year I have not had one cold, because I've been sheltered. So here, and I love that. I love that I have this time out of time. And my prayer is that people will realize and keep on going. The environment, we've done great things with the environment. There's been a lack of pollution, constant pollution. And that it's a time for reflection. Because if we don't get it, if we don't clean up our part of the environment, if we don't do our work and go ahead and do all the things that we need to, and if we don't clean up our inner stuff, the stuff that traps us into anger, reacting, into lousy communication, if we don't clean that up, we're missing a great opportunity. So yeah, I have nice meditation periods in the morning. And hey, here's the other thing. Do we wake up saying, good God, morning, or good morning, God? We have a choice. Every moment is a choice.
Yes. I mean, yes and yes. You're a person when we talk and when you speak, you can make one cry in one moment, like really deep emotions, and then we laugh our heads off in the next. I think they say this is so typical. This is really a good marker for a great speaker. He can really bring you into these emotions, and it's just amazing. So you definitely you saw the blessings in this pandemic, whatever they were, and you saw the silver lining, and obviously you can see this in everything.
I can, which is not to say that I don't get down. Let's not be phony here. Of course, I have moods and I get down and I get sad and I get reactive if I feel hurt, all of those things. However, I don't stay there. I don't stay there because I don't want to stay there, because life really is short and we want to go for the gold, not the glitter, but the gold. Oh yeah. And the next book after that is Finding Gold. So that's what that one's going to be about. Oh my God.
I love that. I love this. No, because I just know it. You're going to be interviewed so much. But mark my words, our interview is going to be on the onset, and we're going to lead the way to all your everybody who is going to interview you has to refer to our interview. Sweetheart, thank you so much.
I can't wait.
Just because it is what it is. Presence is the biggest gift we can give each other, right? We're either in this. Okay, my stupid computer. We're either in this chat or we're not.
Yeah.
Either
exactly.
Or we're not. So thank you for giving me.
We're all in it together, dear Alma. We're all in it together.
Yes, sweetheart. Thank you so much. So we'll do this again, especially if you like the video. I'll send it right away for your approval. And thank you for being Angela.
Oh, thank you, Alma. Thank you for being you.
I'll see you in a second.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.